Time, Thought, and Equanimity, Part 3. In the first two videos, we covered the evolution of one's understanding of presence and experience of presence. And then we worked on contemplations to clarify the nature of presence as the only possibility rather than a momentary experience while one still experiences themselves and believes themselves to be in a timeline. And then we deepened that through inquiry into the nature of thought and consciousness, into an experiential understanding that time is completely thought-based, is an illusory construct in thought. Just like thought could imagine a purple dragon flying through the room, and we wouldn't believe it at all, thought also imagines time, and we do believe that. There's a reason we believe the second rather than the first example. That is, to believe in a purple dragon has no value to the ego structures or that incessant pull into the thought space. But believing in time is valued in that space because it gives us more reason to transfix our attention on thoughts in a certain way that we believe them, that we stand apart, subjectify, and believe the content of the thoughts and pay close attention to them because we believe they are the solution to the problem that doesn't exist, the problem that they suggest as we transfix our attention on them. So the buy-in from the thought system is that the belief in time is really the glue that holds our attention in that space in such a way that we feel separate. We feel like an agent that has to struggle with our environment to cause things to go a certain way, to prevent pain. And most importantly, we suffer. We suffer because we feel out of time. Because at a fundamental level, we know that's impossible. There's no out of time. We're never out of presence. So the amount of energy and attention we put into this thinking activity to keep ourselves convinced that we're out of time is really like beating our own head against the wall because it feels good when we stop for a short time, but then we just keep doing it. It's a losing game. However, when we see clearly and fully digest that time can only exist within one thought, and it doesn't actually exist within a thought, it's suggested. And if we believe that thought, that suggestion starts to feel viscerally real. And when we swing like a monkey branch to branch to branch, thought to thought to thought, then that timeline feels quite solid and is very uncomfortable. And unfortunately, we perceive that the only way to alleviate that pain, that suffering of being in the timeline, is to manage the timeline better, to manage the future better, which of course just keeps us there, seemingly. We have to remind ourselves at some point, or somehow, or life has to remind us, that the fundamental pain, the inherent discomfort and suffering of that experience is from believing in the timeline in the first place. From believing that there is something called not now, and that I spend 99% of my time there, mentally. But the body doesn't know the difference. It feels like you're out of time. To know that you never could be out of time, that there is no such thing as out of time, is peace. Peace is there's no past to contemplate. There's no future to control, to prepare for, to engage. It frees up so much energy. It frees up so much attention to notice. What is the nature of one thought? What is the nature of sound, and what is the nature of sensation? We can be fascinated with a thought about time because when we look closer and closer, it's just that one thought. That thought is not in time. So what does it know about time? Time is just a story it's telling. But we can hold the storyteller, embrace it, let it come closer and closer, feel into it. What is its substance? How does that feel? How does it feel when we recognize that whatever it is that's aware of the substance of thought and the substance of thought itself are exactly the same, and they're only right now, right here. A sort of substanceless substance. This is equanimity. I don't have to look back in the past and try to remain consistent with what I think happened or who I think I am, and then reproduce it in the future. Because those don't exist. I'm freed up from that. Freed up from that responsibility of trying to be the one who is in control of this life. Because all of that is a dream. All of that exists in time. And we've seen now, again and again, time is nothing but a mental construct. Time is a story that a thought tells. So in this tiny slice of eternity, which is only exactly right now, where is your future? Where is your past? You don't even need to worry about it because there's no such thing. No need to contemplate. No need to waste your time imagining these non-existent, uncomfortable seeming realities. When the book you're reading is uncomfortable, just put it down. Remind yourself it was just a story. A story you told yourself for a while. The story doesn't have to end. It doesn't have to come to a completion. Just see that it's a story. And that a story needs time to happen. So the time is part of the story. Right here, in this immediate, no story. No narrative. No past or present or future. This is equanimity. There's nothing to push or pull on. There's nothing to manage. There's nothing to perfect or get right or get wrong. You can be the enjoyer here. It's true simplicity. True innocence. You don't even have to know what anything is. Watch how it just takes care of itself. This eternal, present, non-experience, because there's no one apart from it experiencing it. It just takes care of itself. Simple. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go in your mind to fix an imaginary problem. You can, but to do that you have to imagine time. And that's inherently uncomfortable. So in this way, you find what true eternity actually is. Eternity means time does not exist. It's just a way of thinking. So there's no advice, because you can't enter a room you've never left. Equanimity is your birthright, and it's the moment-to-moment truth.